Headline news for Thursday, February 2nd from the Westchester County Business Journal, Fairfield County Business Journal, and WestFairOnline.com, Peter Katz reporting. Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said at a news conference yesterday afternoon that although inflation is easing, it still remains high enough for the Fed to continue raising interest rates. The Fed raised rates by 0.25% in its latest move, which is less than the 0.5% and 0.75% hikes it had been putting into effect. Powell said that the Fed believes the disinflationary process has started. It wants to bring the inflation rate down to 2%. The Reverend Al Sharpton, in delivering the eulogy at Tyre Nichols' funeral in Memphis, called for police reforms and for Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Sharpton said if Nichols had been white, the outcome would have been different. Vice President Harris, Nichols' mother, and other members of his family also called on Congress to pass the measure. It would ban the use of chokeholds, improve police training, fund the establishing of local police reform task forces, and remove many barriers to the prosecution of police who engage in misconduct. The FBI failed to find any classified government documents during its search yesterday of President Biden's home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Biden had consented to the search, so no search warrant was necessary. The FBI agents were there for about 3.5 hours. Meta, the company headed by Mark Zuckerberg, that owns Facebook, reported 2022 revenues of $116.6 billion and net income of $23.2 billion. Facebook in December had 2 billion users per day. The company said it plans new rounds of expense cuts in 2023. The company plans to buy back $40 billion worth of its stock. Healthcare giant Humana reported 625,000 new members signed up for its Medicare Advantage plans during 2022, a 13.7% increase for the year. It has about 9 million Medicare Advantage members. Humana's revenues for the fiscal year ended December 31, 2022, were $92.9 billion, with pre-tax profits of $3.4 billion. Ukrainian President Zelensky said last night that the Russians are intensifying their attacks on civilian targets in the eastern province, Donetsk. He said the Russians are trying to cause as much damage and as many casualties as possible prior to the February 24th one-year anniversary of their invading Ukraine. This morning at Gobbler's Knob in Pennsylvania, about 80 miles northeast of Pittsburgh, the groundhog Punxsutawney Phil emerged from his burrow in a tree stump and saw his shadow. According to the legend, this means 6 more weeks of winter, which actually will be in full force tomorrow and Saturday when a blast of Arctic air moves over the northeast. Stay in touch with the Westchester County Business Journal, Fairfield County Business Journal, and WestFairOnline.com.